Y'all might be in the way of that.
Station B2. So what we have here is we have a source 4, and it is pointed at a field. You can go ahead and turn on the, oh shit, sorry.
Just full 575 in the face. In the face. That was classic.
All right, everyone, clear a path. Clear a path.
That's kind of on you. You were looking right at the barrel, too.
I hope that's in the bloopers. She like turned on like right away.
Sorry about that. So what we're going to do is we're going to put things into the image plane of this light so we can see how it actually affects the light. Step 1.
Step 1, loosen the drop-in iris slot cover with the Phillips head screwdriver.
So you don't want to pull these screws off the whole way. You just need them to be loose enough if everybody wants to look at this. So you can slide this iris cover backwards and forwards. Can you all see that? So you just want to push this forward. Step 2.
Step 2, place the iris into the slot so that it is seated properly.
So this is a drop-in iris. They're really cool. Don't ever put your finger in there. That would hurt. Essentially, what this allows you to do is turn the source 4 into a spotlight, or it's a quick and dirty way to make the field of the light smaller.
Like James Bond.
Yeah, it is like James Bond,
Do the
exactly.
hand model thing. Price is right, yeah.
So you'll see that it has a flat side here, and it has a part that sticks out over here. You are going to want the flat side to be pointed towards that gold knob, towards the back of the light. And you're going to drop that guy in there. Now, it may hit some things in there. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this one's just stupid. Oh, there it is. Nope. Oh, I know what the problem is. If you have this problem, you need to move the lens tube forward just a little bit, because that's what it's hitting. There we go. And you can see that it's smaller than it was previously. Like it's this big, just by the nature of having the machinery in there. It always takes a little. It's not usually, just, there it is. So yeah, if you're not struggling, there's probably something wrong. But yeah, you really should not see the top of the iris, the drop-in iris sticking out over the top. You will likely need to screw this back in just a little bit. You don't need to close it the whole way, but you should make sure that this iris slot flap is not flapping around, okay? I see this often, people just leaving this thing open. Not only is there a lot of light spill, it will eventually fall off, and then we're missing pieces to our lights, which is frustrating. The next thing on the list is to
Sharpen the circle.
So you sharpen the light beam by moving this lens tube forwards and backwards by just loosening this knob. I commit the great sin of putting the lens tube knob on the top of the lighting instrument because it makes sense in most of our spaces. I also find it's easier for most of our students to find if I can say it's the knob on the top to adjust the lens tube, and it's the knob on the bottom to adjust the barrel. And I'll get into the barrel bit. I know that makes some electricians cringe, but there it is. So now you can go ahead and adjust this. What's next step?
The next step was to change the iris size. And the step over that is remove the iris and replace the slot.
Great. So again, this is going to be hot when we take it out because it's been sitting inside of this light. We're going to loosen this. We're going to pull the cover forward. We're going to remove it. We're going to put it aside. Next.
Next is B. We have step 1, place pattern into the pattern holder.
Great. So we want to make sure we close this back up, as I was just lecturing you about. So we have a variety of patterns here that you can play with. I'm going to choose Cityscape. You'll notice that it is upside down. Anyone remember why from my last lecture that I might have it upside down? Yes.
Because it
Yeah.
intersects and it flips.
Yes. So let's see what happens. Woo! Now we need to sharpen on that object. Whoa! Okay. So right now, the cityscape is off kilter. I'm going to go off script a little bit. The cityscape is off kilter. There's a couple things I could do. I could pull this back out, and even though it's only been in the lake for 2 seconds, I promise you it is screaming hot. So I probably don't want to touch that. So the way to adjust that, the more easy way would be to reach underneath. There's a barrel knob way underneath here that looks exactly like this, but it is on the actual barrel of the instrument. You just need to loosen it a little bit, and then you can turn the whole front of the light 90 degrees. Right? So this, you could just make a minor adjustment, right? And then tighten. You always want to tighten that back down. People forget to do that. So make sure you tighten that back down. Derp. Great. Next.
We did all of the steps already.
Oh, was
so-
that on the list?
Yeah.
Oh,
Put
wow.
the pattern holder in the
I
pattern
guess my
slot.
mind works how my mind
Sharpen
works.
the pattern, make sure it's right side up, use the barrel rotation knob to rotate the barrel, tighten the barrel rotation knob. Now remove the pattern holder from the light and the pattern from the holder.
Marvelous. I guess I'm my own worst enemy. Is that the entire station?
Will you
There's a part C.
Part C, which I said we were skipping.
Sharp, light, and frosted. I thought you said part D.
Oh, yeah, sorry, yes, you're right. Please, move to the next step. Yes,
Can you explain the difference between the holder and the pattern itself?
absolutely.
That was probably.
So, that is a great question. So, there are 2 different kinds of pattern holders, 2 different sizes. Actually, there's multiple different kinds, but for the standard steel gobos, there are 2 main kinds. There is the B size, and you can tell it's B because it says B. It's a smaller hole. And then there is also the A size, and this is not the actual Source 4 kind. This is just the kind we use. But you can see the hole size. This is an A size. I need to buy us more A-size gobo holders, or some real A-size gobo holders. But the reason why you might use an A-size is for something where you need the larger field of the light. So for instance, like a window, maybe, you would want to put a window in an A-size gobo, because it gives you more room to work with. The optics can sometimes be not as good on an A-size gobo holder, but that's a really technical lighting designery thing, so you don't have to worry about that. So we say optics to mean the clarity of the light and sort of the alignment of the optics within the light, of the mechanics within the light. And so then the actual steel gobos, you can cut yourself on these, so be gentle to some degree. They're worse than any paper cut you have ever had in your life. Yeah, it's great. It's kind of like cutting yourself with a kitchen knife, but even skinnier. But you know, it's fine. You have to just be dinking around for that, right? So the pattern holder just makes it so that the gobo does not get lost inside the light, and it's easy to take it in and out. Question. Next.
All right, part C, sharp, light, and frosted. Step 1, place the frost R119 and the color filter inside the color frame holder.
So right now I only have a piece of frost. I generally like to put the frost, the color in front of the frost, so that the frost protects the color just that little bit. There's disagreement in lighting circles, but I'm the teacher, so I get to teach you what I want. You can also, there are 2 different slots at the front here. So there's a back slot, and there's a front slot. And so you could put the frost in separately, like say in this slot, and the color separately in this slot if you wanted to. One is more roomy than the other. It's because of different accessories you can put on it. What's my next step before I tell?
Put the color frame into the farthest slot with the frost towards the light. Make sure you are not between slots.
Yes, so what can happen very easily is you sort of get caught between 2 slots like that. I see this happen a lot. So, no, bad. Make sure it goes all the way down. Next step.
Step 3, push the gel clip to the side and down to secure it.
So how these work is you push them to, if you're facing the direction of the light, to the left and up. So it's like to the left and then down. And then it should just sort of lock, unless it's a little broken. Nope, it's good, it's good. Great. There's one last thing I'm going to show you that is not on the list, and that is shutters, pushing them in. So you can push these in. Sometimes they're extra sticky. Sometimes you kind of have to work side to side, right, to get them to do something that you would like them to do. Sometimes the lighting designer has too big of a lens inside of it. So this is a 26 degree. I have them color coded. If it was a larger lens and I was trying to get too skinny, it is possible for these to bump against each other and push them each other out, especially if you're doing some kind of compound corner. That can happen. So just be aware of that. But I do just want you to play around with these shutters and get used to how sticky our lighting instruments can be, and how you manipulate those. Okay? Great. That's station B2. Complete.